All right. So, where we last left off, after a semi-long journey to the city of Cordelia, the party arrived and was able to get in. Um, After hearing from Gideon that to get really any work in the city, you would have to sign up with the Adventurers Guild. You went ahead and went there, where you met Master Uranus and Master Carrick, who are in charge of the guild. After doing a preliminary kind of battle test with another group called the Terrific Trio, or Triplets, whatever. Uranus didn't really care what they were called. But after having a little trial combat with them, y'all easily showed your strength and were accepted as full members of the guild. And upon looking at some of the job postings, you decided to take a job escorting a merchant caravan back to Saltmarsh. And the job they'll be leaving in 2 days' time, and they want you to meet at the gate first thing in the morning. So you decided that you were going to explore the town a little bit and see what's all the going ons of the town is. But you have essentially 2 days until you have to be at the front gate to begin your accepted job. So we will go ahead and start off that you all are exiting out of the town or the guild hall, and the map is yours. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
We could go to the Arcane Academy and meet up with that Lady Cragbrew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Just start talking to her at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds good
Or
to
we could
me.
go shopping.
Let me get the map pulled up.
We're going shopping.
Shopping episode.
Does anyone need anything?
Do we need potions?
Maybe. Actually, let me.
I forget. Are we able? Do we sleep at the Adventurers Guild, or do we need to find
So-
like a hotel somewhere to?
So if you just need like basic lodging, almost kind of like a hostel type, where it's just like bunk beds and stuff in an open room, they have that at the guild. But if you're looking for like a more actual like cozy accommodations, they recommended one place a lot of people like to use was the Storm Maidens Call. If I remember correctly. Yeah, the Storm Maidens Call, which is kind of on the edge of the harbor and market districts.
All right.
Do we want? I guess we could either go there first. We could go to the academy first, and then secure lodging. Unless we wanted to stay at the Adventurers Guild.
I think I would rather stay at the Adventurers Guild because it's free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably me and Jax, the cheapos.
I mean, I carry my bed around all the time, so
It's true. You can sleep outside.
preferably not outside. But I mean, my home's here, wherever I am.
So I vote Adventurers Guild. We stay there.
At least for a night. If it's horrible or crazy, we can always leave.
Yeah.
Did y'all want to stay at the Storm Maiden's Call?
I'm good.
I'm good with the Adventurers Guild.
I mean, it sounded nice and fancy. It'd be nice to have my own room. You guys want? We can go to the Adventurers Guild.
Of course, the little waistcoat goblin.
It's true.
I'll check it out. And if I don't want, maybe I'll just go by myself.
Aww.
Split the party. Split the party.
Oh,
Just for a nap. It's okay. The dragon attacks this half of town only.
Okay, so guess y'all are sticking with the guild. So, but it sounds like y'all want to go ahead and head to the academy first.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
So the way they're directed on the map, the easiest route would to actually go through the lower commons and enter the. Well, just because it's the lower commons doesn't mean it's
It
like
should say,
slum.
"Ugh."
Sheesh.
Filthy.
But to go through the lower commons and then take in the west entrance into the academy. So as y'all start heading that way and cross into the lower commons, looking at the architecture, so based on the name alone, you kind of get the idea. This is the very poor end of town. This is like not really where anyone wants to live, but it's where they have to live. But looking around, especially on this side with the market district and kind of on the border edge of the upper commons, the houses here are actually fairly nice. Nice dome work throughout the buildings. It's kind of like how you picture most European towns, where it's kind of just like building next to building next to building, not really any alleyways, but it's all kind of all crammed together. But still, the houses look nice, and as you finally start approaching, there's eventually a break in the houses, and what starts to be like an iron fence that begins along. But in the background, you kind of see what comparably looks like a university to us, with a bunch of tall towers, bunch of large constructed buildings, made of stone. But like in the middle, there's a big courtyard that you can see through the fence. And as you are coming up, you actually see people going in and out of the front gate, some guards there. And as you begin to approach the gate entrance, the guards kind of look over to you and say, "Excuse me, do you mind stating your business?"
That's
we're
up to
looking-
John.
Yeah.
I'm looking for what's her full name? Abrola Crag Brew? Abrola Crag Brew.
Oh, do you have a meeting with Lady Craigbrew?
I do not, but I was hoping to talk to her.
Okay, here, wait one moment. Let me get
If we
in
need to
touch
make
with
an
her.
appointment, I can schedule one and come back later.
Let me just see if she's available. It's just we usually don't have people that come in unannounced, so it's just a security precaution. Let me go check. And so as y'all are waiting up front, he runs back into one of the kind of closer buildings. And then after a few minutes, got him running back. It seems that just her assistant forgot to inform us that you would be coming, so come right this way. And he begins to escort you over to one of the closer buildings, and as you go in, or like as the entrance, it's almost like it has like the Roman columns that we always see in front of fancy buildings. And as you go in, it's interesting because while it does have a ceiling, it has like a starry night up at the top, but it's still bright enough for you to be able to see.
Ooh.
And there are kind of items that look like torches along the hallways, but instead of actually producing a flame, it's just like a nice, like soft glow that kind of changes between like a bluish green color. That it doesn't really produce any heat, but it provides enough light for you to be able to actually see very well in here.
I want to stare in like obvious amazement. Just ooh, almost investigating everything.
Yep. And as you're entering the hallway, you kind of get to a bigger open area. And the guard approaches what seems to be a gnome busy hard at work at a desk, kind of writing reports and stuff. It's like, excuse me, Miss Sparklebutton, these are the guests that Lady Cragbrew was looking at. And she looks like, yes. We've been expecting them. Good job. Go back to your gate or whatever. I'll take care of the rest. It's like, he kind of just looks like he's not used to it. It's like, fine. And leaves. It's like, so these are the adventures that I heard about. Hello, my name is Knuckle Sparklebutton. It's nice to meet you. And you see this female gnome who's has like kind of longish hair, but it's strange because she has like a purple purple line through it, like a blue line, a green line. Her hair is kind of like all over the place. It's like, yes.
Hello?
Sparkly buttons.
She actually does have sparkly buttons on her robes.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that.
Yep.
Because if they weren't sparkly, I was going to comment that they weren't sparkly.
Yep, and it's like, we've been looking forward to seeing you. Gideon had great things to say about you. Okay. If you follow me this way. And as you're following along with her, where they are currently, like the back half, while the big area is kind of more of an auditorium that's open up, in the very far back you can see like columns and columns of bookshelves. But she leads you to one of the offices on the sides, and you hear her as she knocks on the door. Excuse me, Miss Cragbrew, you have guest here. Miss Cragbrew. Miss Cragbrew, are you there? And then she opens it. All of a sudden, the door rushes open. It's like, what? Oh. Gee, Sparklebottom. Can't you ever give that a break? Nope, that's what I'm here for. These are the adventures that Gideon sent over. And as you see, Obrella Cragbrew is a female dwarf, kind of broad shoulders, has kind of a reddish short hair that most of her figure's kind of covered up by the robes that she wears. But as she kind of approaches you, she's definitely more built than you would think someone who sits inside and does research all day. And it's like, yes, come in. And she brings you in, and as you come into the office, you take a look around at some things that, while kind of stand out and like you're wondering like what the fuck are all these things, but you're looking and there's some familiar stuff to you that you've seen once before. One thing that catches your eye are specific sketchings of what looks to be a human form.
Ooh.
With
I want to glare. Just
with
do my
different
glare.
lines throughout.
Oh.
Another thing seems to be devices that have a socket of some sort that looks like a gem could possibly fit in them. And other kind of weird contractions and devices that you just don't really get. But main thing you recognize is that they all have an empty socket that looks like something is to be inserted into it. So she gets back to her table that kind of has just a bunch of papers all over the place, and she walks over. She actually snaps her fingers, and a little teapot comes over. Would y'all like some tea?
I'll take a glass.
Yes,
Cup.
please.
Yes, please.
Okay, 2,
Give me the
3,
biggest cup you got.
4.
Sure,
Okay,
why not?
5. All right. And she ends up just rapid fire snapping, and all of a sudden, like off of the top shelves, a bunch of like teacups are like kind of spinning down. So then the teacup actually kind of pours itself. It's like, so Gideon said you might need someone to talk to about some certain things. And as she passes out all the teacups to you. So what can I help you with?
I was wanting to know if you've heard of any wizards doing experiments on uh, creatures and whatnot. I'm looking for a wizard, but I don't know what he looks like, unfortunately, or his name.
Well, that could definitely be a bit of an issue when coming across some of these things. Especially, trying to think, because most of the time experimentation with creatures has been outlawed. Since past the calamity. And most of those are frowned upon. Though, trying to think. So you don't have any describing features at all, or
No, nothing at all.
only
Unfortunately.
that the wizard did act specifically with creatures?
Yes, well, I used to be a regular goblin, but then he kidnapped me and turned me into a wizard goblin, and I don't remember anything.
Let me think.
I'm gonna
He's the
stop
coolest
my
goblin.
keys and listen intently.
So she kind of ponders there for a minute. So you're not. So let me get this right. If so, beforehand, you were just kind of a regular goblin, and then
Yes.
after he kidnapped you, now all of a sudden you kind of have a higher intelligence, and also are now skilled in the arcane arts.
Yes, my memory's a little hazy. I remember being a goblin, and then we attacked some caravan, and then the next thing I knew, I woke up in his tower, and I could use magic, and I understood the arcane. But I don't remember anything about the wizard. I just woke up in his tower.
Well, with that, it may be a long shot, but I have a possible candidate. Let me kind of dig through something real quick. And she kind of pulls out her drawer and then kind of pulls out older, or well, compared to some of the books in her room, a fairly newer book, and kind of begins turning the pages. Well, the closest thing that I have in memory of someone working with specifically, they were actually caught in the academy testing on live subjects and were justly kicked out for it. Was actually a brilliant man named Jonathan Acheron.
Acheron?
Yes.
Then Acheron. Okay. Would you happen to know where I could find him?
Well, that's the thing. He kind of, after he was kicked out of the academy for testing on live subjects, because that's the thing, he was kidnapping orphans on the street. And he was working with some kind of what looked to be, upon the investigations, like some sort of soul transference type of deal, because a lot of these kind of sickos try to decide they want to never experience death. They want to keep pursuing their knowledge no matter what the cost, and it makes some people turn to very dark places.
How would a
So
soul
after-
transference work, even though? Is that possible?
In theory, yes.
Is that what happened to me?
Just looks at him.
She as soon as you say that, she like dead glares right at you. It's like,
No.
what?
You fell in battle. And I look over at Lone
Make-
Needle.
Make a deception check.
Get him. Get him, Needle. Deception. 18.
So when you say that, it's like, oh no, you just fell in battle. She kind of looks at you and is like, I may have been may look young for my age, but don't try to lie to me, especially when it comes to matters of this seriousness.
Oh no, I'm lying to him.
Oh, you're lying to me.
But she picked that up and it's like,
Playing it off, but yeah.
Do we come cleaning? Just tell her what we found in that.
Do you have the note still?
I'm just gonna be look visibly confused at Jax. Just
I'm here to help.
I
I'm
think go
not
back to fiddling
trying
with my
to-
teacup that is way
Alright.
too small for my claws.
And
I guess we
especially if you experience this may be a hint, because that's the thing. We've read records of this stuff happening before the calamity, but ever since civilization rebuilt afterwards, it's been deemed blasphemous.
Well, hypothetically,
and-
if we do know about this, and we have seen notes very similar to these, as well as these humanoid creatures, what would that mean, hypothetically?
Hypothetically.
If you have seen, if what you're saying, of course it's hypothetical,
Of course, hypothetical.
but hypothetically, if you're saying that you have seen things, and she actually points up like to the drawings, such as this, or indication of soul transferring magic, I would say someone may be able to reward you for pointing those things out and possibly helping destroying some of it to make sure that it's not used again. But of course,
Do
this is
we
all
get-
hypothetically.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetically, do we get a medal and become heroes?
I think we can tell her. She's been nice to help me, so I think
Can
we
I
can
get
just
an
tell her what
insight
we
check
saw.
on her?
Yeah.
Before we tell her.
Yeah. Well, I guess what are you trying to determine?
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's a 5. I was trying to see if her interest in this subject is like she's trying to do it for herself, like she's wanting interest, like she's researching all this for herself, or if she's trying to just
What are her
find this and stop it.
So you're trying to kind of judge her
Judge her morality. Her yeah.
morality on that. Okay. Well, with a 5, she's kind of hard to read. You're not able to picture it, but you feel that like when she's talking about this, the fact that she's mentioning so openly that it's outlawed, that it's considered damning for people to experiment like this. You think that she's probably trying to do this for make sure that no one can have access to it, even if it could enhance research.
Got it.
That's better to destroy at least the anything that relates to soul transferring. That it's better to destroy it and not give people the temptation rather than collecting it and having the temptation.
Mm-hmm.
But with a 5, that's what you.
Well, I kind of look at the group and go, kind of like give them a shrug.
I slowly nod.
I could tell you what we saw. So, not too long ago, we were given a job, and we ended up finding some sort of safe house that we were looking to possibly recover some stolen goods. And we found some notes that sort of match the stuff that you have around here. And our turtle friend touched an orb that is apparently his soul temporarily left his body, but he was able to come back by
I died.
some miracle.
And when you say that, like her eyes actually like she was kind of in a relaxed pose earlier, but as soon as you start mentioning that stuff, it's kind of the like lean forward on the desk, hands in front of her face, kind of like all of a sudden getting a more serious stance, and like actually like instead of being kind of more relaxed, really like she's really focused on what you're telling her.
We also took one of there was actually maybe some type of prototype of a weapon that we had that we could have showed you, but our turtle friend lost it. So
It was in the bag.
it's not there anymore. Then when we got to the bottom, there were, I don't know how else to describe them, but metal men, and one of them had been somebody that we had killed before, almost as if he had been reborn.
The shadows in the room just get darker at the mention of Ned.
It didn't say his name.
So
I
Thinking of
purposely
him.
didn't say his name.
So what you're telling me is that first of all, you came across a soul transferring device,
That is working.
Yes.
and we're lucky enough to get your friend back.
Yes.
And
We
second,
didn't know what it was at the time.
you've actually found live and working Warforged.
Warforged.
That's what they're called. Yes.
We also
Yeah,
killed a
that's
few.
that's what she actually points to the drawing. It's like that's what these metallic beings were. They were originally specifically designed to do hard labor and sometimes even fight as soldiers, so that the upper echelon did not have to put their own stakes in it. And it came to find out later that they were actually made by taking the souls of people and using that as like a battery source.
Interesting. Well, we did defeat a couple of them, but there were two that seemed to be the leaders.
We could give you the location if you wanted to send somebody to investigate it, but just be careful. There's some frogs out there you might want to avoid.
We are heroes of the grung.
You really might want to avoid.
Well,
They're really nice frogs.
Well, if it's dangerous, it sounds like I better hire some people. As she kind of like sits there and kind of glances over all of you. It's like, I hear your adventurers.
We are.
Still, I took an arrow to the knee. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Oh,
we
that's
could
a
go.
shame.
We are going back.
Are we heading back in that direction?
Yeah, we're escorting people back to that town.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could check it out. I don't know if there's something you'd want us to look for more specifically this time, because last time we just went in not really knowing what was in there.
Well, the idea would be that I would get y'all either to escort me or my assistant Knackle out there, so that we can kind of take, and especially if there are still remains of what were working Warforged, we have not been able to actually have everything that we have on Warforged is just documents and old text. We don't actually have anything. But if you're saying that there are still working Warforged in the world, that could be, that's a great research advancement, but it's also quite scary based on some of the stuff we've read.
Did we take anything from that with us? I don't have anything.
I was looking at. I didn't see any notes.
Mm,
I thought we took like one of their hearts, but maybe we didn't.
I think we tried to open it, but I don't remember
You
what
tried
happened.
to open them, but you couldn't. You weren't able to get it open in order to get to the core.
mm.
Okay.
But I think you did. Let me take. Because I remember you picked up some documents
Yeah, I don't
then
have. I think I feel like we took like not a lot, but we took like one. I know we took the dagger, but it's gone now.
No, not the dagger. The hammer is missing.
Oh, that's right, the hammer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a hammer.
We tried to enchant a dagger to be lightning, and then it blew up on us.
Oh yeah.
I just want to glare at
Who?
everybody.
Why? Why are you looking at us like that?
Y'all almost killed Kirby.
You decided to touch a glowing orb.
Maybe we'll need a demonstration again, and you can show her what happened.
Maybe we
last
can pick
time.
up Kirby for a demonstration.
My eyes are gonna get wide and just be like, no.
Yeah, because I remember you found some notes and then you found a journal with some diagrams.
Yeah, and they were all in like a language we didn't recognize.
Didn't we have
Mhm.
that key?
The key was like a ring, but it broke.
Oh, did it break?
Because I forgot one of y'all took. I don't remember. Because I think I remember telling one of y'all, whoever picked it up, to write like special note or something like that.
Maybe did we put it in the bag of holding?
That's what I'm gonna search. Special. I don't have anything labeled special. Let me see if maybe it's on like a Google Doc real quick.
Yeah, because it wasn't like actual true item. It would have been something that you would have added, like
Yeah.
just wrote in.
Yeah, I have in the Swamp Amphitheater language is Ancient Common, a hilt of schematic, Ancient hilt schematic letter. It's in Ancient Common.
Okay.
Mm.
Is what I have written down. So I guess maybe
Ancient
I have it
silver
in the bag of
coin.
holding.
I think that's it.
It wasn't those silver coins I got, right?
Yeah, you got some silver coins,
Yeah, I got some
But-
ancient silver coins.
They weren't
I can't
like
remember
normal
where it's all.
silver coins.
but
either.
I think the only documents you found like a half document of like what looked like a
The Vitruvian Man.
yeah, then another sheet that had just like kind of scribbles on it that was also an ancient common that you weren't able to read. And then I think you found a letter with those schematics.
That's what I have written down.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll produce those for her.
Okay, it's like let me take a look.
Can you read this?
Yeah, one moment. And then she actually like takes some glasses to the side, and you notice that she like hits one of the outer frames, and then you actually see kind of a magical glow from the glasses start, and she looks. It's like, huh. So she takes a look at the first document you found, which is just kind of names and columns,
Mm-hmm.
or just kind of columns or written stuff. So as she pushes it forward, this seems to be just a kind of a ledger of metal and crafting supplies coming in, and it just says going out 2 or 3 workers at a time. So material comes in and workers come out, which that's most likely can be summarized as or surmised as a some Warforged. This document that has the person written on it is actually looks to be just a smaller scale version of the one I have up there. Because this is actually talking about the inlays and also the mapping process of Electrium that goes through that carries the magic through it. And then this one here. So you produced both the schematics and the letter?
Yes.
Okay, so she's taking that, she looks at the schematics, and she looks at the letter. And this reinforces some of the other stuff that we have found.
What's that?
Interesting.
What have you found?
What is it?
So, this is actually based on the letter, this is actually a partial schematic of devices that were to specialize in taking out Warforged.
Oh.
And while this is only one part of it, this letter is specifying that it's during the Warforged rebellion that occurred. Which this is saying these are kind of the last hopes that groups were separated to design schematics so that if one got taken over, that the Warforged would not be able to reverse engineer it.
Well, how do
to-
we get rid of it? What does it say?
Well, that's the thing. It's impartial. This is just kind of explaining to those who find it. Be sure it doesn't fall into hands of the Warforged,
Got it.
because it's specifying that the Iron Lord is coming.
That's the second time we've heard the Iron Lord, isn't it? Because didn't they mention the
When we took over that ship, one of the people
yeah.
mentioned the Iron Lord, didn't they?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Wait, so you've heard the name the Iron Lord before and not in a historical content?
Yeah, we
Just kind of in passing, somebody mentioned it, I think.
we were helping someone take a ship, and one of the I don't know what they call it, bandits mentioned that name, the Iron Lord.
And you're certain it was the Iron Lord.
Yes.
They said.
And upon you kind of mentioning that, like, her face of kind of excitement of these are some new materials and the prospect of getting new research is like very awe-inspiring and excited. But as soon as you're mentioning this, like, her face begins from that joyous to kind of sink in and almost kind of a nervousness to her face now.
Do you know who the Iron Lord is?
Yes. He was the first Warforged that we've found in our recordings, that he was the first one to become sentient.
Oh.
And he was the leader of the Warforged rebellion that nearly destroyed the former civilization. And some even theorize that as a last result, that civilization ended up causing the calamity just to defeat the Iron Lord. That's rumors, of course, and that's speculation. There's no hard evidence. But if someone's either, hopefully, it's just someone that's using the legend to kind of scare people and
Is
big
there any
intimidation
record?
factor. But if the Iron Lord truly has returned, this could be bad.
Is there any record or legend to what happened to him?
We found some documents, and she starts kind of pulling through books and kind of looking around, that he was eventually defeated in a great battle. But it was shortly before the calamity occurred. So, and most of the stuff around when the calamity is estimated to happen, a lot of that stuff has been lost. But we have found one or two documentations of the defeat of the Iron Lord, but it's just not enough to authenticate that's truly what happened. And because other documents that showed up after the calamity talking about this became more of the legend of him. So we're not
What
sure
is
how
the-
much is legend and how much is fact.
What does legend say that he looks like?
He is a brawling warforged that defeated many in battle.
He's just like a super big Warforged guy.
Not necessarily. They don't really ever describe his size. They just mention his power.
There's one more thing we might want to let you know. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that one resembled a human, didn't he? And then took off his face?
So what it was is that the Ned,
Mm-hmm.
so he had almost like a face mask.
Oh, it was
And
like a
then
mask.
kinda-
It wasn't like a
yeah.
like an actual disguise. Okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind.
But just the mention of that name and the fact that you have came across active warforged
Multiple.
means that this is something that needs to be investigated.
Well, you're welcome. We are heading back that direction in 2 days. You're welcome to come with us.
I would definitely appreciate that if you don't mind taking me. Of course, I could pay you for your troubles.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if this is serious enough, we may have to try and get all the evidence we can and give this over to the council.
Absolutely.
If this is something that can seriously be a threat.
I look at the group to make sure that's okay with them.
I nod.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Very
leave
well,
at we leave at dawn in 2 days.
Okay. I will get things prepped. Where would you like to meet up? Here at the academy, or do you have a specific place that
Where were we meeting
Where are we
for that
meeting
other
them?
one? Were you just
y'all are
meeting up-
y'all are meeting the merchants at the front gate?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. The front meeting at the front gate.
Okay. Yep, I can plan that, and this seems serious enough that I may come and leave Knackle here to take care of things. So,
The less people that know about this, I think, the better.
yep. And especially, we don't need to cause a panic if it's not going to be anything serious. But
Oh, so I shouldn't talk about how I anymore.
How you-
yeah, I would not talk about that in front of other people around here.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Boy, well,
I'm gonna
this
put him on the dog.
Gideon sure left out a lot of details when he mentioned y'all were coming.
Well, we didn't mention everything.
We
to
left a
him.
few details out when talking to him too.
Ah. Well, I don't blame you. That those are things you don't necessarily want to going around right now. But okay, I will plan to meet y'all at the front gate at dawn in 2 days. Then. And that will allow me to grab some stuff for work. Be able to take a look at stuff. And then I'll inform Knackle to take care of stuff here. So,
I'm gonna whisper aside to John. Did you want to ask her anything else about the wizard, or are you good with just that name?
I'm good for now. I mean, it didn't seem like she had anything else to say.
sorry. I forgot that. I got kind of carried away when you mentioned the Warforged and the soul stuff. So, last I heard, when he was banished to the south.
Okay.
So, but no one's seen or heard from him since. And my guess is that if with you standing here, that him being kicked out did not stop his work.
Mm-hmm.
But so it would just be a matter of seeing if you come across any other leads regarding soul transferring magic. That would probably be your best lead.
Soul
But be
transfer.
careful who you talk to about it, because they may
Yes.
take you in. thinking that you're trying to seek that, not the necessarily person in charge.
Yes, yes. I haven't mentioned it to too many people. But if
Okay.
you hear anything else about him, just
Yeah,
let
I'll
me
keep.
know.
I have a few birds out in the wild that I can tell them to keep an ear open.
I'm gonna lean over to Jax and be like, birds don't have ears.
They have little holes, don't they?
I'm just gonna look at him and shrug.
Don't you don't have ears either.
But
And then Jax walks away.
Kind of while you're talking about that.
I'm just gonna look at him like I'm just like, what?
And it's like, oh wait, before you go, she folds up at least the schematics. It's like, you may want to keep this on you.
Absolutely.
I don't know where you'll find the materials for it, because it's so hard to find electrium these days. But if somehow you come across any, that may be somewhat
do you-
some help to you.
What
Speaking
could we
of
use
just,
electrium for? Well, how would it work?
So electrium was a kind of metallic material that, funny, it had multiple uses, but its primary use was to actually help the flow of magic of items, usually trying to take the power from either just magicite shards or refined magicite and drawing the power throughout a device.
So they would need the electric to power these devices, power these warforged.
So the magicite would be the power source, but the electrium is what the magic would pass through to disperse the magic from the power source to the device itself. But it had many other uses too. Some used it for because it's a very malleable metal that it handles magic currents well, but also a lot of people liked it for decor and kind of. She points over to a vase that that she has kind of sitting on a shelf in the corner, but they also used it for like repairs and stuff, and then it instantly hits you, Jax, because it is a pot that has a green substance
in the
across
cracks.
the body that in the cracks that you have definitely seen once before.
Yep. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out for this stuff, and we'll see if we find any. We'll let you know.
The schematics here seem to be in working order. You never know, with it being a hilt. Those were usually kind of the draws of some of the power, but because any skilled, if a smith is skilled enough these days in the old techniques, that even this hilt could help imbue a blade or a hammer with some power, but it's not necessarily the full completed version that they intend.
Huh.
If you get what I'm saying.
I do not, but I think we'll figure it out.
All right.
Well, thank you. We will see you in 2 days
See you in 2 days then.
at the gate.
And then she gets up and goes to her door, opens up, and it's like, so, yep, I will begin my preparations for the journey, and I suggest you do the same. Sounds like y'all came on a long journey, so maybe take some time to relax
Yes.
while you have the few days before another long journey.
And we walk out, or I walk out.
Okay. So y'all head back outside, and I'm gonna take a quick piss real quick. So just talk among yourselves.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to give her too much information that we have all this stuff.
Well, it seems like we can trust her, but maybe we should play a couple cards close to the chest just in
Yes.
case.
I agree. Also, apparently,
guys.
in that weird little smelting room that we set on fire, We should have put this stuff in there.
Well, we can go back for round 2 and try again.
We'll send the frog this time.
Hermie is safe. in
Yes,
his
I guess
village.
that means we can stop by that village again.
We
Huh.
will absolutely not be doing that. We will avoid that
Is
I would
village.
love to visit Hermie.
Isn't it on the way? Is it an inconvenience to go around it?
It's an inconvenience to go to it.
Well, what's the bigger inconvenience?
Kermie? The Kermie's
Kermie's
also like
just
a
spelled back.
diplomat
You really
now.
hate that frog, huh?
Kirby is now a diplomat. Avoid the question.
Oh, that's right. Maybe we'll see him at the village.
No, poor village.
If it has... if all the residents are still sane, huh?
We get there, Kermie's strung up.
No.
What happened here? The frog. He won't stop talking.
Instead of Kermie being strung up, all the villagers are strung up because they couldn't handle him talking so much.
Kermie's the bad guy.
I am Darth Kirby. You will, you will fear the dark side.
Oh God.
Yep, yep. Okay. So after on the so now you're out in the courtyard of the academy. So where would y'all like to go next? You had some recommendations in the market
What time?
district.
What time is it? Is it like midday?
Probably about early afternoon, because y'all got here pretty much like first thing in the morning
Like noon 30.
is when you actually arrived into town. But as y'all are kind of standing there, you're noticing that you're getting a lot of odd glances because for an academy, y'all stick out like a sore thumb.
Whatever. They're just jealous.
Oh, dang. I meant to ask her about the Tabaxi guy. Fuck.
We can go back up and
Maybe
ask her.
when we see her on the journey,
Oh, well.
I can ask her too. Don't let me forget.
Yes.
Well, maybe we should go check out the market, see if there's anything
Yeah,
we
check,
might need for our trip.
we can check out the
Yeah, that's a good
market,
idea.
and we can check out the. Oh no, we're staying at the Adventurers Guild. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Well,
that
it's
place sounded really
the
nice.
the Stormman's Call is actually a tavern, a full tavern and inn.
Oh well, there
So-
we go. We can always visit that. Maybe our unlimited drink coupon is transferable.
You notice at the very bottom of your coupon, there's a little asterisk that says "not only redeemable at this location."
Participating
the
locations
Wicker Goat
only.
location. Yep.
I would like to check the barrels outside the establishment for items. No.
But so y'all travel back to the market district. Were there any specific things that you're looking for, or just looking around? The Aranis and Carrick did mention 2 shops that they work a lot with, which were
Forging Ahead and Botanica Magica.
Nice.
I wrote it.
But there
down.
are a bunch of like different like pop-up shops that just have like fresh fruits, vegetables, almost kind of farmers market-esque.
I want to
there's
head
some-
by Forging Ahead because I want to sell some items that we've picked up or I've picked up.
And then so you head that direction. You kind of go towards more the east side of the market. Tends to be where kind of more brick and mortar shops are set up. And as you go over there, you're hearing it's a very crowded day, lots of noises, and then actually while you're walking past, you hear the town crier giving out some of the news. And tensions within the Draconian Empire are at a standstill right now. It is believed that some of the clans have worked out some of their differences, so free trade among the Draconian people is a possibility.
I want to look
Cool.
surprised at that, just like, what?
In recent news, according to the council, it is suggested that travelers to the town of Oakenfell should avoid traveling there due to recent violence in the area.
Oakenfell.
Does anyone know where that is?
No. Well, do we know where that is? I don't recognize the name.
You
but,
do.
like, I do? Ah, Oakenfell.
Surprise.
Yes. Ah, Oakenfell.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Oakenfell.
And it's to the south of Cordelia.
Oakenfield.
Yeah, Oakenfell.
Can you spell it?
Yeah, give me
Can you use it in a sentence?
Okinfell.
Oakenfell. Got it. Ah, how could I forget? Good old Oakenfell. You said it was south of where
Yep,
we're currently
south of Cordelia.
Perfect.
Didn't that guy head south? That wizard?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask how long ago that was. Oh, it's fine.
We can ask.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not going to see her in 2 days that you can ask
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
It's true. Okay.
Any other announcements?
Yeah, what else is he announcing?
Those are the two main announcements for the day. That you kind of stick around, especially you, Jax, as you heard the city name. You kind of wait to hear if he provides more details. But it kind of just he keeps repeating the same stuff. Did mention that there is a shortage of sailors, so if people are looking for work, check your local shipping guild for dock hands. But other than that, he kind of just after reading those, he gets off his platform and appears to move down the street to look like getting out on another platform to spread the news throughout the district.
We should just follow him.
What did he announce about Oakenfell?
The council is recommending that people do not travel to the city due to major violence in the area. But no further details were provided.
Or any further details on the Draconia stuff?
And the Draconia stuff, it's just the fact that tensions seem to have lessened.
And you're now
And
having
that-
open trading.
Or, well, the clans are discussing open trading.
Oh.
Which, you would know this just based on your background, Leopard, I guess. That
Tensions were high.
tensions between clans have been pretty high recently. Or even like when you left.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to deal because the clan of the Silver Dragonborns, I don't have a name decided for them yet, but they have been the first to actually openly trade with people outside of Draconia, and it has brought in a lot of wealth to them. But pretty much most of the other clans have mainly frowned upon it because they're very traditional.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about early Japanese history, like think of the Silver Clan as like the merchant towns of like Nagasaki and stuff, that they were pretty much the only town that could trade with like the Portuguese, the English for the longest time.
Naturally.
But a lot of the clans have been, because they're very traditionalist, tensions have been spiking up because of the open trade agreement between Cordelia and the Silver Dragon clan that was signed into place 50 years ago. But that's all for today's news. Come back at 5:30 for a new report.
What about the weather?
It's gonna be hot.
We look up. No, it is going to be hot.
Thanks, Ollie.
It raining.
101 right now. Just saying, guys.
It's a cool, like 73 degrees, low chance of showers,
Oh,
and of course
this really is a role play now.
he says that, but as you look up, it's a clear sky. There's no clouds in sight.
Boo! Your weather's bad.
Obviously-
and you should feel bad.
All right, but as you
Gross. There's
continue,
101. It's 94 here.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
it's a 90 here.
We're in a heat advisory right now. It's fun. Great.
But y'all continue
it's
down
7
the market area, and eventually you do go to two adjointed buildings that are actually connected to each other. On one side, you have a anvil sign
Mhm.
that says "Forging Ahead," while on the other side is a wooden, what looks to be like designed to be as a magical gem, or just like a really nice cut gem that says Botanica Magica on it. And you but behind the side with Forging Ahead, you can easily hear clinks in the background of something being hit,
Like the,
like
from
an anvil
Forging
being
Ahead?
hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a few things to sell to Forging Ahead. Does anybody else want to come with me?
I'll go
Sure.
with you.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
so
go.
so as you go in, a little ding 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 as the bell comes in. Then you hear just a second, and as what comes out, you see a halfling man come out and kind of come up to y'all, and there's different styles of weaponry, shields all around, and then but he comes to, yes, what can I do you for?
Yes. I just have a few items I'd like to sell to you.
Oh, sure. Here, come over here. And he goes behind, like what looks to be the main counter. And he gets up on like a step stool. It's like, okay, what are you looking for? Or I guess, what are you trying to sell?
Well, I have a few hand crossbows and scimitars.
Okay. If you could just set them down on the table here. And then he kind of,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I take out 6 hand crossbows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scimitars and place them on his desk, all one at a time.
and they're all, he just kind of looks up and is like, oh.
I found these on my
these
travels.
Are a lot. And he picks up the scimitars and these are.
I look at the group. None of y'all wanted these,
Okay,
right? That's why I had these,
condition.
right?
I give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, these could definitely seen better days, but these can be melted down for material. And crossbow. You said hand crossbows, or were they like crossbows?
Hand crossbow.
Okay, it's like, these have been getting more popular by the day. Well, I know we can definitely take the scimitars. Let me get my boss out here, real quick. And he kind of runs to the back. He's like, Eris, Eris, there's a shit ton of stuff out here. I need you to. Like, fine. I'll be there out there in a second. And so, what? So, you hear the clanging stop, and the halfling man comes out, and then following him is a elven woman
Hmm.
with a very kind of athletic, bulky build, kind of like almost like a power lifter almost.
Oh.
With like a long knotted ponytail, wearing like a blacksmith apron, and extremely sweaty, has like soot kind of on her face. It's like, okay, what is it that you need? You know I'm working, right? It's like, yes, I know, but there's a lot of stuff here. And it's like, Grim, didn't I teach you about what to get and what not to get? It's like, yeah, but it's never been this fucking much. And he points over to the table, and then it's like, oh,
Hi.
okay, I see. Hello. Y'all have been mighty busy.
Yeah, I found these on my travels. Here.
Found.
Yes.
And she
They were.
I did
kind
not
of looks
die.
over them.
He did not die. That is correct.
Good for you.
Look at Needle again. What the hell is wrong with this
I just roll
turtle?
my eye.
Well, let's see. Let's see what I can do with these. So, are you looking to trade them, sell them, enchant them? What are you looking to do?
I'd love the opportunity to possibly trade, but for sure we are going to be selling, if anything.
Okay, here, let's see. Okay, so she takes a look at the scimitar. So these are slightly used, and I'll probably have to more melt them down than repair them. So these I could give you 15 gold each,
Absolutely.
and then for these hand crossbows, some of them are in nicer condition, but
And they're
a
very
lot of these
popular right now.
Yep, but supposedly they are. I'll give you these roughly 40 gold apiece.
Sounds like a deal.
Okay. So I guess if you want to do the math real quick.
That it comes out to 345 gold.
All right. Yep, that sounds like a deal. And are you looking to possibly get some new equipment, or are you?
I'm definitely going to look around. My friends and I might shop around a little bit.
Okay.
You did offer enchantments. What does that entail?
So it's more of a deal that we have with my neighbor next door. We kind of have a dual business. I work more the weapon side, while he works more of the kind of magical gear side. So we have a bit of a partnership there.
Wonderful.
But he would actually do the enchantment next door. You would need to talk to him about prices. But as you can see behind us, and she actually points behind kind of the counter and like a glass case, there's actually fairly, and like you actually look around, there's actually kind of glass case displays, but the weapons in there are more, you can tell, have a nicer sheen to them. They also look much better crafted, and almost to the scale that the hammer that you saw was
Oh.
like in quality. And so he's done some enchantments on some of my weapons that I have. Also have some magically reinforced shields. And then we got the odd weapon that adventurers come in and they can't really use it. So they give it to us, and then we try to sell it to someone who can.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So if you have any questions, just let Grim here know. I'm busy working an order in the back, but if you have any more serious questions, just have him come to me and I'll come answer your question.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, go ahead. And I didn't catch your names. My name is Eris.
I'm Ava.
Nice to meet you, Ava.
I'm
But yeah, if you have-
Leopard, hero of the Grung.
Nice to meet you, hero of the ground.
John.
John, nice to meet you.
You can call me Lone Needle.
Hello, no needle.
Perfect.
I guess
Alright,
bigger guys
you-
shy. Oh.
Sorry, I am Torment.
Torment, nice to meet you. But yeah, so take a look at my collection and see if there's anything you'd like.
Thank you.
Grim, make sure you actually do some business this time instead of talking to them the entire time. Like, I'm doing my best. That's not what I pay you for. I pay you to sell stuff. It's fine, fine. And then she heads into the back. So, you look around. You pretty much see like same quality of weapons and stuff, but of the nicer variety. Specifically the ones in the kind of glass cases
Mm-hmm.
that you see. There are a very nice crafted warhammer, a very nicely
Oh wait,
crafted.
before we continue, everybody gets 69 gold
Ooh.
Nice.
before I forget to distribute that.
How much?
69.
The sex number.
Nice.
Nice.
We should just kill more bandits. We can make a living off of this.
And we'll be heroes. Or murderers.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, I'm sure the other stuff will just work itself out. Usually does.
Yeah.
So, taking a look around, some of the stuff you see is you see of the kind of nicer looking weapons. You see a warhammer, a great sword, a dagger, and a maul. For the nicer crafted shields, you see like a buckler style one, and a kite shield that are a very nice quality. And then one kind of unique thing that pops out in one of the glass containers is a sickle of some sort with a wooden style handle, and then the blade is actually a very vibrant white rather than kind of a steel or iron color that you're used to.
Grim, tell me about this sickle.
Okay. Oh, that one. Yeah, we recently just got that one. So, it was one that was actually traded in to us, but it was based on what we found out is that it's a sickle that is kind of be more attuned to someone that is more draws their power from nature, and it actually helps reinforce their spell casting while also providing a decent protection for self-defense.
Ooh. My ears perk up.
So
Does it
they got
specialize in a certain element in nature, or
no. It's just the guy who brought it in was more just your kind of basic muscle man. Didn't really have anything. So this is something that is definitely more designed for someone who draws their power from nature and is able to get more power from it.
that's what I do, right?
Yes.
Oh, so it would be something you'd be interested in? As it kind of leans in.
Well, how much are you asking for it?
We're asking 600 gold.
Grim. That's ridiculous. For a sickle? Come on, I thought we were friends.
I'm not that interested.
Hey, it's not just a sickle, it's a magic sickle. That makes a big difference these days.
$600, 600 gold difference? Come on.
What if we
You're
play
lucky
with
that was
dice
the price that
for it?
Eris said. If I was setting the price, it would be 800 gold.
Leopard? Not Leopard. Leopard, come talk to your friend. Come on, be friends.
What if we played you in dice?
I know that's gonna get me fired, so no.
Hey, I'm really lucky at dice.
But that's our kind of hot ticket item, so that's the highest.
God, what is one of
Price
your
request 'cause it's a
lower
bit more
ticket
specialized.
items, magical items?
So if you're just looking for like a basic and the basic enhancement stuff, that's gonna run you about 400 gold for the superior weapons, while the superior shields will be about 300 gold.
And those
Oh,
the
I
two
need
the
to
two,
look
300 gold is the lowest you've got.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Because they take into the smithing components. It takes into basically the smithing components, the amount of work time, plus the time for the enchantment itself.
Yeah, maybe I can just get the guy next door to enchant something I already have
yeah.
for cheaper.
I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
The enchantment costs over there are pretty high. That's why they made a specific deal on this. This is just recommendations because usually if it's something you're looking at average enchantment costs for similar things about 500 gold.
How much gold does everybody have?
I have 300.
I have 270.
I have
37.
343.
I got 300. We don't have a party fund, do we?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. But it's okay. It doesn't really sound like that's going to be a huge benefit to me.
And after we do the quest, we could.
Yeah, that's true. Because we're doing 2 quests at once.
Mm-hmm. So we'll come back maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I get it.
Waiting for payday.
Yeah, I understand that completely. But hope you stop by again. But we do have other saves, so if you're just looking for more basic stuff, those are kind of more regular prices. It's just the magically enhanced stuff.
What do you have for armor?
Armor, we actually have pretty much all kinds because it's a big adventuring town. Let me. So, are you looking for something more heavy, something light?
Something light for me. I don't know about anybody else.
I actually would like to sell some armor.
Okay.
I don't wear armor.
So, our toughest, if you're looking for something light but extremely tough, the most basic one that we have that's tougher would be a set of studded leather armor, and that would be 45 gold pieces, and that would make your armor class a 12 plus your dexterity modifier.
What do you have as far as medium armor?
Medium armor. So I have, let's see. We can make you a fitted piece of breastplate. We also have some half plate. We also have some scale, which is similar to what you're wearing yourself. But and then if you're looking for something more on the just basic side, some hide.
What about the scale armor? You got anything that'd be better than mine?
He kind of takes a look at yours and it's like, well, yours definitely looks like a bit of a enhancement on it. It would be the same as the regular, but without an enhancement, like you have yourself on there. So
So no.
no, yeah.
Any magical bracers?
I think that's more next door.
Gotcha.
He may have some in stock. Typically, like like accessories and stuff. That's more of Buffon's speciality. We kind of mainly focus on the armor and the weapons themselves.
So you said this is like more of a D&D question, but you said
Mhm.
this studded leather is a 12 armor class?
So what it is, so here, let me get your character sheet pulled up. So what it is it's a base of 12 plus your dexterity modifier. So right now you have a 13 armor class, and that is, let's see, what do you have? So you
I
have
have
regular leather
right.
armor, which is 11 AC plus your dex modifier.
Okay,
So
so it would make it one better.
yeah, so it would make it one better.
And how much was that breastplate you had?
To get a piece of breastplate, get that fitted to you. That's gonna be 400 gold pieces.
Cool. Cool.
It's mainly because of the fitting and the fact that it's protective but doesn't really hinder mobility.
How much was the studded leather armor?
The studded leather is 45 gold pieces.
Oh, I'll buy that.
Twins. Ingram, I would like to sell you this regular leather armor when you have a chance.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
And
Okay,
then I
that'll
guess
be
I'll sell mine too, the one I'm wearing.
okay. They're gonna be 5 gold each.
Okay.
Anything else?
So I bought that studded leather armor.
Yep. So the main thing will just be in your inventory. You'll want to be
Mhm.
sure to equip it.
Okay. And it's just the regular one, right? Not like there's cast off, smoldering,
Correct. Yeah, it's just the
the
regular.
regular one.
Because cast off and smoldering are magical enchantments.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I've got. Anybody else?
No.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
Pleasure doing business with you. Hopefully, after you come back from payday, hopefully we can make some bigger sales. And he kind of like points at it. It's like, ah.
Ava walks out.
Bye, Graham.
Bye. And you walk through, and then like as you're on your way out, it's like Eris is like, so did you make any sales? Yeah, I made a few. It's like, any big ticket? And, no. They said they're coming back on payday though. It's like, okay. All right, so
do we
you're
want to check out
back
this
out now?
magic place, or do we want to go check out somewhere else?
I do.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Let's walk
look
next
at the
door.
magic.
Okay, so you go next door to Botanica Magica, and as you open up, you take a look, and there is a dwarf on a stool, kind of putting some apothecary equipment up, and it's like, oh yes, right, be there right in a second. As he's kind of putting some stuff, he's stout built, has kind of long wavy gray hair that's kind of just going all over the place. And as he finally puts up stuff, he's like, ah, and then he kind of steps down, brushes off the front of his clothes. He's like, oh yes, how can I help you?
I was wondering if you had any magical bracers.
Ah, you already have something in mind. All right, well, come over here. I have some over here. And he kind of takes you over to a counter, and you actually see actually like nice wire set of bracers that kind of have an intricate pattern, weaving pattern through them. And it's like, yes, I actually have these. These are fresh, actually just newly made. They are to help those that. Let me check one thing real quick. One detail I forgot. So these bracers are specifically designed for people who need to have a tougher defense, but don't necessarily have the capability of wearing armor or using a shield.
Perfect. How much are they?
So for them, because the strength of the enchantment and what it costs for the materials, that's gonna be 2,500 gold.
Oh,
Jesus.
never mind.
These are pretty strong, and in general, these are like average prices for the strength of what they are.
Yeah.
So,
I just wasn't expecting.
because in case y'all don't know about D&D economy, like these prices are actually fair based on the strength and what level they're available to you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
like
just
grab
wasn't
Leopold's
expecting.
hand and like pull him away slowly.
But yes, I get it. These are a bit more. That's probably a bit on the pricey side. It's for those that probably have already everything taken care of. But I do have some other products that may be of your interest. You lot look more like the adventurous type. So he actually pulls out like a crated box, and as he sets it down on the table, you actually hear a little like glass jingling inside.
Fragile.
And as he lifts it, it's like, well, I do have some potions that are on the less expensive side, if that's more your keep. So, I have these, and he pulls out, what you recognize, regular like potions of healing. Then he pulls out one. It's the same coloring, just in a slightly bigger bottle. And then he pulls out two more. One that is a vibrant orange color that you're noticing at the top of the vial that it actually has like a little bit of like steam bottling up at the top. And then he pulls out another one that is a kind of whitish blue color, not necessarily like a light sky blue, but like there's distinct portions that are kind of a navy blue and the other portions are white. And at the top of that bottle, you swear you see some like sparks flying around. So I have these. I have some regular potions of healing, which any adventurer needs these days. I have some greater healing potions, which are just more potent than the smaller ones. And then these two, depending on your choice, you can either have a potion that allows you to do a burst of fire, or a potion that deals a burst of lightning.
Lightning.
Mm-hmm. These are kind of based on the ideas of some of the draconic, some of the dragon's breath attacks.
Oh.
How
Well, we
much
don't need
is
the
that
fire one.
lightning one?
So both the fire and the lightning, both of them are 300 gold pieces each.
I think I'll have to pass for now.
Hmm.
Very well then, but how about some of these healing potions? As he kind of pushes them forward. I know adventurers love healing potions.
Do we need it? How much do we have?
I have
I
two.
have two.
I have one.
I have one.
I think we're full stocked on healing
I
potions.
think
Okay,
we
I've got-
stopped them before we left.
I've got one
Mhm.
as well. Okay. I think we're good on healing potions then.
Hmm.
All right, very very well then. I get it. I guess I haven't seen your faces before. Are you new in town?
Yes.
Ah, okay, that makes a little more sense then. Well, I'm always I have stuff in rotation at my business, and what people buy, they trade and stuff like that. So if you don't find something now, maybe later on you'll find something that you want.
What sort of enchantments can you do?
I can do some of the more basic ones, like specifically if you're looking to reinforce an item to make it more sturdy or more sharp, to magically reinforce it. I can also instead of doing a reinforcement, I can make it so that your weapon deals a specific type of damage or type of magically inclined damage. So, like if you wanted to, instead of just hitting your enemy with a sword, I can make them to where you're hitting enemies with a fire sword or a lightning sword. But those are usually on the higher end of the pricings, because it's all dependent on the strength of the enchantment. For cost, for some of the more basic ones, you're looking around 500 gold, but for more of the higher end stuff, you're looking more like 2,000 to 5,000 gold, depending on what you're looking at.
Mm. Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
What is one of the cheapest enchantments you can do or enchanted weapons you have?
So most of the weapons, I don't usually keep the weapons. I trade them for materials and stuff next door. But usually just reinforcing a weapon, usually looking 400, 500 gold.
Probably same with armor and shields.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I said, it's just all dependent on what kind of enchantment you're looking for.
Got it. Well,
So, if we reinforced our armor, would that increase our armor class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm saying reinforcing stuff, it's mainly like making a +1
okay,
armor or a +1 weapon or a +1 shield, something like that.
that's what I was
Okay.
gonna ask.
Yeah.
I think
So how much
after we
would that cost for just like a to enchant armor then?
Basic for armor, anywhere from 500 to 600, depending on what type of armor.
And that would just give you a +1 armor class, basically.
Yeah.
plus one to what you have.
Yeah.
Now it may be a little bit different because, for example, he actually points to you because your armor already has an enchantment on it, so if I was to try to put an enchantment on it, I would have to remove the former enchantment. So I can't, because of the way that magical items work, you can't just keep stacking enchantments on top of each other to make them work. You usually have to remove the old enchantment to place the new enchantment on.
So how much would it be to enchant my shield?
About 500.
Dang. It's cheaper than 2,500.
It's true.
It is cheaper than 2,500.
All right, and then same, I guess, enchanting a weapon. That would just
Correct.
give you like what +1 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
If you're
500,
looking for the most basic.
and that's what 500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe we can come back after we get paid.
Fair enough. And he starts putting all the potions back. Well, especially if you're new in town and you're just getting acquainted. Yeah, once some jobs open up for you, I expect you to be back here every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because it's not the first time I've had people come in and just like, oh, this is what it is. And it's usually people who just started at the guild. So. But don't worry, you'll be making money in no time. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
Heck, every once in a while I put jobs in there for collecting materials and stuff like that.
Do you have any jobs or favors we could do for you now?
Not at the moment. I've been kind of booked on orders already. But come back every once in a while and see. I usually do the postings through the guild. So, but if you happen to catch me while I am about to put an order in, I would definitely be willing to offer to y'all first.
Are there any
Or whoever's in
resources
here.
you need that we can find on our travels and maybe bring back to you?
Actually, just using. Well, I know for me, usually mine are pretty set, but I know next door, Eris. Usually she is willing to. She likes a lot of challenges and unique works. So if you find any unusual materials or strong materials, like the other day I had someone bring in a skull of a bullet, and she actually made a warhammer, a maul from it, using the scales of the bullet head.
All right.
Cool.
So, any unusual materials or components, and she usually, especially depending on the material, because if it's something she's never worked with, I've heard that she usually gives discounted rates on those. But it's all dependent if the material is even sturdy enough to make something out of. But if you get a customer from her, I can usually enchant them as well, and that's why we've kind of entered a partnership together. That's why we actually share the same building, just a wall next door.
Wonderful.
Do we get a discounted rate on the enchantment if we buy something from them?
Maybe not. You'll just have to buy something and see. And he kind of like wink.
Cool.
If y'all keep browsing, feel free. I gotta take care of some more equipment. And then he kind of runs to the back, brings out some more kind of alchemical materials, and starts pulling a stool around to start restocking some stuff.
I'm gonna head back outside.
I'm gonna follow Needle.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Okay, so y'all head out, and with that, we will go ahead and take a quick break because it's already been roughly 2 hours. So y'all step outside of Botanica Magica. So now, what would y'all like to do? It's about probably after the walking around. It's starting to it's the sun is finally starting to go down. It's not dark, but it's starting to get close to dusk.
Perfect. Well, do we want to go check out the harbor bar? The Storm Maiden's Call?
Sounds good.
Sure.
There's that. There's you saw some signs walking kind of this direction that there are also some public bathhouses if you want to clean up.
Ooh, that sounds nice too. I'll do that later.
Okay, but so y'all head to the Storm Maiden's Call. So walking around, they're kind of walking back towards the harbor district. You actually pass by the town crier near the end of the district, so he's probably like on his last few places providing the announcements for the day. And when you get, by the time you get there, it's full dusk. You actually have the sunset, and it's funny because or not funny, but you arrive at the building and you notice that there's hustle and bustle outside on the second story, that they have like a full patio that looks over the harbor, and you can actually like watch the sunset and sunrise from that balcony. But the building is actually fairly large. You're kind of surprised thing, because you think, oh, it's just this nice inn and tavern, but it's pretty big. And as you go in, it's loud, ecstatic. You have people cheering all over the place, tankards clanking, but it is packed. And so you have a bunch of the dock workers there running around, a bunch of the barmaids running around as well. And behind the bar, you actually see like 3 or 4 bartenders back there, and they're going left and right, trying to keep up with the hustle and bustle. And when you approach, there is a slim-built woman that approaches you, human, with a weird kind of blondish, but with strains of silver in her hair. It's like, oh, I don't recognize you. Are y'all new in town? Well, my apologies. Welcome to the Storm Maiden's Call. Are you looking to get a room, or are you just looking for some drink and food?
What the heck is going on here? Why is it so crowded?
But people love it here. Plus, it's right after the dock shifts, so there's always certain times that it becomes more crowded. So it's a trade and shift. But my name is Astrid. So are you looking for rooms or dining?
Dining for right now.
Okay, well, feel free, just find a spot and we'll have someone come by, get your order. It's a little packed, so just be aware of that. We'll try to get it out as fast as we can, but I hope you enjoy, and especially if this is your first time, welcome.
Thank you.
And you, as you go to the side, it's loud, cheery, but you actually do notice there is a small stage on there, and there's currently a small band just kind of providing like joyous atmospheric music, trying to keep like the party going.
Cool.
And there's plenty of meals and drinks to choose from. But so if you want to role play out, that's fine. But I'm sure we don't want to play restaurant manager. For a night, for pretty much a nice meal and drink, it's will be about 7 gold per person.
7 gold.
Yeah.
Perf.
But and as you look at around, the decor is fairly interesting. There's a lot of like shipping, like anchors, model ships, and stuff. One thing that catches your eye behind the bar, there's actually two crossed warhammers with a shield on top that has the has like a Celtic knot emblem on it. And but pretty much like the whole thing is nautical themed. And at one point in the night, the music kind of dies down, and you actually see the lady you talked to, Astrid, later come up onto the stage and actually performed like almost a forget what the actual thing is called, but kind of like almost a like anytime you picture a singer in the clubs from like the 1920s, it's kind of like that atmosphere.
Oh, wow.
Almost. And it's one of those, it's really surprising because you'll have all these drunken sailors and ship dock workers that are, it's loud and rustle, but as soon as she gets on stage, it is nearly silent in there. There's almost like a overwhelming kind of respect, or just the fact that a lot of people are in awe of like that, her actual singing voice. Because when you first kind of approached her, she seemed like a kind of extroverted person, but it's kind of amazing that the voice that's coming out when she sings is not what you would have thought from the first appearance.
Yeah.
But so y'all get your food, you get a little bit of a show, and then so as everyone kind of starts to clear out after the show, you have the choice of either you make room there or go ahead and head back to either one of the public bathhouses, head back to the Adventurers Guild because they actually have a bathhouse of their own.
Oh, cool.
Or make make rooms at the Storm Maiden's Call.
I'm going back to the Adventurers Guild, I think.
Okay. Not even whoever she is right now.
Do what?
I'm gonna go with you.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess is anyone staying or wanting to do their own thing, or are we just all going to the Adventurers Guild?
We can go. Or I can go. If it's terrible, we can do this next time.
Yeah, I'll go back.
Do you want to ask how much a room is?
I mean, we can ask.
Can't hurt to ask. Yeah. What was her name? Did we get a name?
Her name was Astrid.
Astrid. Astrid, how much would a couple of rooms be?
How many rooms are you looking for in particular?
3, I think. Is that what we did last time? I think it was double, and then single.
Let me go check to see what's available. And she actually goes to the bartender, who is one of the bartenders, who's a medium kind of built man with brown with brown hair, and interesting enough, they're not grayed out, but his eyes, the irises are gray in color.
Oh, I like that.
And they kind of talk over. He actually walks to the other side of the bar, pulls out a book, and comes back and kind of looks over. And then they're kind of discussing. It's like, okay. And she comes back to it. It's like, okay, so for 3 rooms, if you're just looking for basic lodging, it's gonna be about let's see, about 15 gold a night. for just basic accommodations for basic rooms. If you're wanting one specifically with a oceanside view, you're looking at 30 gold.
Perfect. Thank you. We're gonna go walk around. We might be back.
All right, look forward to seeing you again.
And then Jax leaves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they never saw them again.
Nope.
Suckers.
Okay. So y'all head back to the inn, or not the inn,
Yeah.
The guild?
The guild.
and it's funny because it seems like you left one party and came back into another, but instead of ship and dock workers, it's all different armor clad robes. You actually see some animals running around the bar area, which is kind of ridiculous, but
When we go in, I shift to an old lady. Before
Okay.
we go in.
okay.
To hide my new. They're just gonna think I'm an old lady. I decided. I was gonna do that last time and I forgot, so now I'm doing it.
Wow.
I kind of like give him a side glance and like questioning weird look, and then just kind of shake it off.
Okay. So I guess so y'all just head over to the lodging area to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'll go to the bathhouse first.
Okay. Yeah, the bathhouse is out back, and actually you kind of go down. It almost feels like a sauna when you go in, but once you get in there, in the water, it's a nice, nice hot, steamy bath that just it feels great because you haven't washed yourself in about 2 weeks at this point. So
Gross.
yeah, but you take a nice refreshing bath.
I'm gonna go find a bed.
Okay, there are many to choose from. There are a bunch that are taken, but you can easily find a spot to kind of curl up,
Yeah.
or a bed to curl up in.
I just found a place on the floor, spread out my little blanket, and curl up into my shell.
When Ava gets back, she trips over Leopard. Oh, shit. Why are you in the middle of the floor?
Leopard didn't feel a thing. And was still sleeping.
Makes sense.
Yep.
She gets in bed too.
Okay, so I guess everyone's just calling it a night.
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this counts as a long rest, right?
Yep, it'll count as a long rest. One thing I guess, do any of y'all take off armor or anything like that when you sleep?
Technically, I add armor when I sleep.
Technically,
I
I'm
guess
sure
I guess the main thing I need to ask, Needle, do you take off your boots?
Not tonight.
Okay.
Tonight I keep them on because there's a bunch of people around.
Okay. Then nothing to be aware of. So go ahead and take a long rest.
Long rest.
And then so we can just, I guess, is there anything else you need to want to check out or need anything to do on this last day for prepping, or do you just want to fast forward to the morning of your departure?
I can't think of anything else that we needed to go look at or we were wanting to go look at. Can y'all?
No, I don't need to do anything.
I'm good.
Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go.
So we're good on potions. We can't get those. We sold everything that I had. I think, and we talked to everybody, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So with that case, we'll go ahead and just fast forward to the next day, the morning of you're supposed to meet the merchant troop outside the morning gates or the entrance gates.
Yes.